G'day, Pickleball family. First thing to know, as shared on pickleball.com, Bouchard, I'll be an advocate for pickleball becoming an Olympic sport. While the Summer Olympics are officially underway in Paris and we patiently wait for pickleball to someday receive approval from the International Olympic Committee, or IOC, Jeannie Bouchard shared some fond memories from her 2016 Olympic experience in Rio. The 30-year-old Montreal native who joined the professional pickleball ranks in January is exceptionally proud of representing Canada in tennis. It was such a special moment in my career. I walked in the opening ceremony, and that's one of my favourite moments of my life. It just felt so special and surreal, said Bouchard. It gave me a feeling of camaraderie and a team aspect because you're playing for something bigger than just yourself. I was wearing the same red t-shirt as the other 300 athletes, and it all felt like you were part of something big. Bouchard has played in her fair share of tennis tournaments over the years, but competing in the Olympic tournament and spent time in the Olympic Village was truly unique. Canada had their own building because we had so many athletes, and the whole building was adorned with maple leaves and all the red and white Canada stuff. It was so fun hanging out with the other athletes, meeting them and talking about our sports and our journeys to get here, she reminisced. It was that feeling again where you belong to something bigger than yourself. It was a really special feeling for me. Going head-to-head with the best in the business on the world's biggest stage was exceptionally meaningful, of course, but Bouchard also took tremendous joy in watching some of her fellow Canadians compete too. I enjoyed getting the opportunity to watch other sports I'd never seen live before. I was able to go watch gymnastics one day. I also saw swimming, diving, and fencing. Those are sports you don't watch regularly at the pro level, so that was exciting, she said. I'm so grateful I got to play, and I would advise anyone who has the opportunity to go as well. It's really special, and it doesn't come around very often. With that in mind, Bouchard was adamant about pickleball becoming an Olympic sport. I'll be an advocate for it, she mentioned. I think it will definitely be in the Olympics. And with the UPA, or United Pickleball Association's announcement of going global in 2025 with tournaments in Australia, India, Europe, Asia and Canada, Bouchard is especially eager to play on home turf. I'm so excited. It will be so fun competing in Canada, she concluded. I know Canadian fans will come out. It will be great for the tour to expand by showcasing the sport in different countries and to a different audience. Thanks ever so much for making it this far into the update. Please be sure to hit subscribe and comment, like and rate on the platform you're watching or listening to it on, so this and future episodes can be found by and shared with other fellow pickleballers. Second thing to know, as also shared on pickleball.com by author Jim Kloss, where all the MLP or Major League Pickleball teams stand after 3 events. 3 of the 8 MLP events are now in the books. With the conclusion of MLP Salt Lake City last weekend, we now have a developing picture of where the teams stand, who is looking good for the playoffs, who is on the bubble, and who is likely to be looking to next year. Number 1, Dallas. My pick at the beginning of the year to win it all is looking good. Dallas has 31 points, having played 14 matches. Every team will play 23 matches. 6 teams make the playoffs, with 2 teams having a bye. It looks like it will take about 36 to 37 points to make the playoffs and about 45 to secure a bye. Dallas is close to being a lock to make the playoffs and is looking strong for a bye. Number 2, Texas. The Ranchers have 29 points in 14 matches. They are 3rd in points per match. They are a steady team, which should easily make the playoffs. Right now, they look to be in a fight with St. Louis for the other bye. 3, St. Louis. The Anna Bright-led team has 28 points in 13 matches. They are slightly ahead of Texas in points per match. It looks like St. Louis, Texas, and Dallas will fight for the 2 byes. Whoever does not get a bye will have a much tougher road. Every team can beat every other team, so the fewer matches you play in the playoffs, the better your chances. 4. New York. New York didn't play in Salt Lake City, so they stayed at 18 points in 10 matches. Following the top 3 teams, the next 4 are tightly bunched. One of the top 7 teams will miss the playoffs, so every match is truly important. NY has played better than I expected, carried by their women's doubles team. 5. New Jersey. The Fives have 17 points in 9 matches. New Jersey scored 11 points in Salt Lake, points they sorely needed. They have been carried by a 4-0 record in Dream Breakers. 6. DC. The DC team wasn't in Salt Lake City, so they stayed at 15 points in 9 matches. This team has been inconsistent, but seemed to settle down once they traded for Vivian Glosman. I expect them to be strong going forward and to be one of the 6 playoff teams. 7. Los Angeles. Thomas Wilson missed Salt Lake City, but Blaine Havenier filled in admirably. They scored 10 team points in Salt Lake City. With Wilson out, it could have been a disaster, but Havenier saved their season. Right now, they are number 7, so they are on the outside looking in, but Havenier gave them a chance. They have 14 points in 9 matches. 8. Carolina. There is a big gap between number 7 and number 8. Carolina has 12 points in 11 matches. To make the playoffs, they likely need to average about 2 points per match going forward. While not impossible, that's unlikely. Definitely a disappointing season for a Ben Johns team. Number 9, Arizona. The Arizona Drive have 10 points in 10 matches. Like Carolina, Arizona would need to average about 2 points per match going forward to make the playoffs. They have some firepower, but just haven't shown it today. 10. Columbus. Columbus is tied with Arizona with 10 points in 10 matches. Columbus has been dysfunctional from the get-go. Riley Newman hasn't been dominant, and the rest of the team has played poorly. This team looks done for. 11. Orlando. The Squeeze had a bad run in Salt Lake City, scoring only 2 points. They now have only 7 points in 9 matches. They likely need to average more than 2 points per match to make the playoffs. It's a near impossible task. If all 4 of the drafted players play, they do have the most expensive team in terms of auction dollars spent. So there is talent there. 12. Utah. Utah has 4 points in 10 matches and is out of the playoff picture. They did show signs of life in Salt Lake City and played competitively even when they lost. This team could play spoiler going forward. Anytime they sneak a win, it really hurts the playoff chances of the team they beat. At this point, it looks like Dallas and Texas will get buys, with St. Louis the 3 seed, DC at 4, New Jersey at 5, and New York at 6. Under that scenario, St. Louis would play New York and DC would play New Jersey. This is no sure thing, as St. Louis will battle for one of the buys. I expect Dallas, Texas, and St. Louis to all finish within a point or 2 of each other and well ahead of the 4th place team. Can LA move up and steal a playoff spot? Can one of the teams ranked 8th or lower go on a big run and challenge for a playoff spot? We shall see. Third thing to know, as shared on blockclubchicago.com, Pickleball Clubhouse coming to Irving Park, Chicago, early next year. Construction is underway on a pickleball clubhouse slated to open this winter in Irving Park. Chris Sears, founder and CEO of Pickleball Clubhouse, plans to open the indoor playing facility at 4242 North Elston Avenue, a warehouse that was formerly home to Thillins, an armoured car service provider. Spanning nearly 19,000 square feet across 2 levels, the clubhouse will feature 7 premium courts when it opens early next year. Our goal was to create a top-tier facility that caters to the dedicated player, Sears said. We want a place where players can enhance their skills, connect with others who share the passion for the game, and compete year-round. The facility will offer scheduled court times, training, and program options, and have properly spaced courts with flooring, lighting, and noise reduction. It's aimed at offering a premier pickleball experience for enthusiasts, Sears said. At the opening, the club will feature a pro shop and lounge area. A restaurant with a viewing lounge, locker rooms, fitness rooms, and other amenities will be added later. Pickleball is far more than just a sport. It's good for the body and soul, and it's a community, Sears said. We're excited to provide a welcoming environment where players can hone their skills and be part of this awesome community. The clubhouse is a testament to our commitment to grow the sport in Chicago. Sears bought the warehouse property from the Thillens family, who left behind memorabilia from the former Thillens field at 6404 North Kedzie Avenue. The new clubhouse will display the memorabilia once it's open, Sears said. Before the Park District took over the ball field, the Thillens family underwrote and operated it for the better part of a century, Sears said. Construction is underway and the warehouse's facade will be retained as a nod to the Thillens family legacy. I walked into the building, saw the walls lined with Chicago sports memorabilia from Thillens Field, where my own son played baseball, and knew this was the future home of the clubhouse, Sears said. Paddles up.